Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Health and Wellness with Coach Viv. And today I'm excited because I really have a guest who is a mentor, who is a leader, a great leader, and someone who loves people so much and such a joy. And he is a friend. Well, I could say you're a friend of mine now, right? Because we
Yes.
know each other for like about 2 years. My guest today is none other than Brandon Missouri. And I just love him because he's the type of person that I can call and say, hey, Brandon, can you do me a favor? Do this or do that. And he's always there to give a helping hand because sometimes we forget that it's not about us only. We need someone to help us along the way. And to have someone like him to say, I can call and I can get results. And he's like, I'm on it. So I call him Superman for those who don't know, because it's like, I'm on it. And he's just a reliable person. And I just enjoy having conversations with him, meeting for lunch, and just chit chat over the phone and catch up. So I'm just excited that he said yes to being on our segment. So welcome, Brandon
Thank
Missouri.
you.
And
Thank
I would love for you to introduce yourself. Tell them all about yourself because this man has been in the health and wellness industry for over 20 years. So he has
Yep.
some knowledge and some insight to help us in this aspect. So, Brandon, take it on.
Thank you so much, Vivian. I truly appreciate it. Well, I should say Coach Vivian. And I tell you what, it's awesome to be on this platform with you. It's amazing when sometimes when you hear people introduce other people, you
Mhm.
kind of wonder if they're telling the truth. But to hear you introduce me, you're hitting things that really happen. And I truly appreciate it. It's so authentic. So thank you so much for that. So, folks, I get to introduce myself to you all. First of all, I want to welcome all of you for joining on this particular platform. My name is Brandon. Missouri is my last name, just like the state, Brandon, Missouri. I'm actually from Baltimore, Maryland. My background is in microbiology. I actually created pharmaceutical drugs. I did that for about 15 years in corporate America. And I was introduced to this particular industry because I just wanted to find a way to get my time back. I wanted to find a way to get control of my money. So there were some things I wanted to kind of understand and figure out. And so I was blessed to be introduced to this industry by an organization called Making a Difference. And this organization actually educated me on business principles, wealth principles that I didn't learn in traditional school systems, as well as, again, it introduced me to this industry. And so once being introduced to the industry and applying those business and wealth principles, I was actually able to walk away from that corporate America career at the age of 35. That was back in 2007. I can't believe next year will be 20 years that I walked away
Yes.
from corporate America. And I tell you what, it's just been an amazing journey, Coach Vivian. I've learned so much. I've met so many wonderful people that have impact and changed my life, the course of my life. My
Mhm.
family life has been obviously changed, being able to spend more quality time with my family, with my mom, with my dad, with my kids, with my wife. It's just been awesome. I've been able to travel all around the world. I'm so excited to be able to encourage young folks to let them know that there are opportunities out there. There are bigger
Right.
things than just the city and the state you live in. There are bigger things than just the country you live in. And so for me to have those experiences really gave me an opportunity to share my gift and my experiences with so many people to give them that courage first and foremost, because a lot of people are afraid to travel and experience new things. And so it's just been a blessing, and my kids, for myself, and my family, and for people that I had an opportunity to do business with. And so they were also able to travel the world with me, and we've all done some amazing things. So it's just been an amazing journey along the way. And so I'm thankful to be here today on this platform. And I'm really excited to be here with you today.
Cool. That's exciting. So you retired at 35 after being in this industry for how long? How long did it take you to retire at 35?
I was actually in the industry. Let's just say I was introduced to the industry back in '99, but I didn't do much. I was reintroduced to the industry in 2003.
Oh, okay.
My daughter was born in February. I was reintroduced to the industry in March. And
Hmm.
so March of 2023 until July 2nd of 2007. So I guess 4 years. And I was able to
Wow.
walk
Wow.
away and
So how did you do it? Like in 4 years, how did you what was it that caused you to say, okay, I can pay all my bills, I can do all these things, and dream the dream that I want to live after 4 years. What was it?
It was the things that the industry provided for me, to be honest with you. So, for an example, within that 4 years, I had won two separate Mercedes Benzes that was paid for. So, again, now my car payment's done. Okay. I've been traveling for free, vacations that I was going on multiple times a year. And so, one of the things that really impacted was 2006. So, I took all of that training, all of that knowledge, all of those courses, as far as personal development courses, leadership courses. I did all of those things within those 4 years. And in 2006, I was introduced to Mr. Kelly Olson. The MAD team introduced me to Kelly Olson. And from 2006, meaning from June 2nd of 2006 until May of 2007, I had actually tripled my income that it took me 15 years to accumulate. So that's when the impact really hit, 2006 to 2007. Mr. Kelly Olson had a compensation plan that paid the best that I've ever seen in the industry. And so I was able to triple my income. And so just imagine, Coach Vivian, if you had your job and your monthly income, whatever the income is, imagine if you tripled it from your part-time business. Okay. So, and then after 12 months of being with Mr. Kelly Olson, I was actually earning a strong 5-figure income. So now I'm over $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a month, every single month. And so I made that decision that, you know what, I'm going to focus more on me and my business versus focusing on my career as far as working for someone else. And so I just made a pivot and I focused on me and my career within this industry. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made because, again, I spent time with my daughter. I should say my daughters, because my oldest was kind of in school already. My youngest was a newborn. And so I was able, no daycare for her. Daddy's home, mom's home. So it was just a different experience with her versus my oldest daughter. So it was truly an amazing experience to be able to say I'm a stay-at-home dad. And it really, people normally don't say those words, but I enjoyed it. And I tell you, one experience I had, it snowed one day. It snowed really bad, and we had a snowstorm. And my neighbor's out there, and he's snow blowing late at night. My daughter said, "Dad, well, how come you're not out there snow blowing your car?" I said, "Because Daddy don't have to go nowhere tomorrow. Daddy can stay right here. Dad don't have to go to work tomorrow. Daddy can stay right here." And so it's little things like that that I sit back and, thank God that I was able to be in a position to do that. So,
yeah, that's amazing because a lot of people don't get that opportunity, especially they might say, okay, I'm going to make this goal to get where you actually did the goal that you accomplished. They're trying to get there. And it almost took you a year from 2006 to 2007, you said, meeting Mr. Kelly Olson. And then you said something really good that a lot of people don't realize that they need to do is personal development. You said you worked on personal development. You worked on growth. Talk a little bit about that because that's the key. Sometimes people don't realize that they invest in so many different things, but they don't invest in themselves, to making themselves better, to improve or to master your gifting or master whatever skill that you're blessed with. So just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. And again, I owe it all to the MAD team because they encouraged us to read personal development books. And then from reading those books and you get to know those authors and then you find out that they're in a certain city and they're hosting a seminar. So you want to obviously see them. It's kind of like listening to an artist on the radio and then now that artist is coming in town. So you want to see them in person. And so I've been able to see Tony Robbins, Les Brown. I mean, I could go on and on. And so I learned so much just from those experiences, but also networking with people at those events. And by me networking with those people at these events, they would introduce me and open doors to other events that I never knew nothing about. And so you would make that investment to travel to Houston, to travel to LA, travel down to Atlanta just to see those particular individuals in their conferences. And in the midst of that, you have to then take that knowledge and you have to apply it. And so I would take that knowledge and apply it so much so that I would not listen to the radio. I would only listen to audio books. When I travel, as far as driving, I would just listen to audio books. I would take those experiences and I would share them with people in my organization. Just going over my notes, I would encourage those folks to come and go to the next seminar. So much that we grew such a large organization that we had folks like Les Brown come to us and do our event as a keynote speaker. And so Dennis Kimbrough come and do our events because we had encouraged so many people to just work on themselves. And so
Mhm.
it's been an amazing opportunity to be able to do that and have those experiences. And so, again, I'm so thankful that I was able to learn and grow and be open to learning and growing. And some people are just not open to it. They feel
Right.
like they know it all. They don't need to change. And
Mhm.
to me, I'm so thankful that I was open to being able to learn and grow.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the thing you said to networking, not only able to be open to grow, but you said networking, and you
Mhm.
said another key, very important key, applying what you learn.
Yes.
That is a big thing because a lot of people, they get empowered, they get preached at a church or read a book or listen to a podcast, but they don't apply what they learn. And that's big. So talk about that. Talk about that a little bit.
One of the things that I can say that I took away from just having those coaching moments, we'll call them, being able to go to those personal seminars. I actually went to a mastery seminar with the late Brian Clemmer, and
Mhm.
there's a mastery program. And one of the things that we say to this day, and we probably went to that class, that seminar, because it was a weekend seminar, probably over 18 years ago. And one of the things we took away from that was when the intent is clear, the mechanism appear. Meaning, if you see something you want, you'll figure out a way to get it. And since that coaching session, I've always applied that. If I want it, there's nothing that can stop me from getting it but me. I'll find a way to make it
Mhm.
happen. And so I've been applying that particular principle for years, and I've applied it with my children. That, hey, don't think you can't have it, or think you can't get it, or think you're not good enough. You have to be better than this and better than no. If the intent is 100% clear, you will find a way to make it happen. Now, if
True,
you don't make it
true,
happen, that means the intent is not clear.
true, 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 true. I love that. And by applying these things, growth, what you've learned, networking, you have accomplished what your goal was to retire early and to spend time with your family. Is there another key or there's another thing that you think I've missed through this conversation that you want to add to that?
I tell you, that was the thing that my kids they're getting older. I
Mhm.
have a 23-year-old. Wow, she's graduated college, working full time, and so we still spend time together. But my focus is now setting up my, I want to call it retirement from the industry, not from corporate America, but from the
Right.
industry. And
Industry.
so that's kind of, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's my goal, to be able to capitalize and build on that residual income. And I just want to get back to traveling I still travel, but I want to just, for an example, I went on a cruise to Alaska last year, and it was a free cruise. And I met people on the cruise that said that that's all they do is they just travel for months at a time because their kids are grown, they see their grandkids every now and then, but this is what they want to do, and they're seeing the entire world. And to be around folks that have that kind of vision that says, I want to see the entire world,
Hmm.
that kind of shifted my thinking and shifted my paradigm to where I'm thinking, you know what? It would be cool to see to say I traveled the world. And so that is a mission of mine. And the intent is very clear. The
Love it.
mechanism will appear.
Yeah. With a fellow traveler as myself, I love it. I am out for anyone who loves to travel because, my bags are always packed, put it that way. And I have little packs to prove that it's always packed. You can call on me. I'll jump on that plane in a minute. So, anyway, that is amazing. And I know, knowing you, I know you're going to accomplish that goal because that's something on your heart and you are a go-getter and you're going to make it happen. And that's the thing, audience. Those are really great points that he has made, that we have to really invest in ourselves and learn and grow. Without growth, we stay stagnant. We don't know it all. Everyone has to grow. Everyone has to learn. Even all those great speakers he talked about, they're learning themselves.
Mhm.
They're gaining insight from other people. They're always constant learning. If we stop learning, we're limiting ourselves. Along with Brandon, I really encourage you to start learning and grow. And he says the key is to apply what you've learned. Don't just learn, but apply what you've learned. Even if you have to try it out on someone, your neighbor, your child, or your husband, try it out on someone. And the other thing he says is networking. A lot of times we don't utilize the people that we're around or we meet. And I just was sharing with him before we got on this call that I was started talking to someone at the airport, and then I got a client from someone who was eavesdropping on my conversation, and to a person I just met at the airport. So it's important to network. It's important to speak to people, be friendly, bring value to people. That's another thing that's really important. So talk a little bit about that. Talk about networking. How can someone network enough to build a community as yourself?
In the industry, I've learned not so much just networking, but also it's a term we use called tap rooting. And so when you network and you're building your empire, you're building your business, you have people that you know personal. Okay. And so one of the things that I learned, again, going from these personal mastery courses and personal development courses, is that the goal is not to work with the person that you know, but the goal is to develop relationships with people through those people. And that's what we call tap rooting. And so I always would train my organization to work with people on your odd levels. So some people say, what do you mean odd levels? That means I want you to work with people on your first level because you know them, and then work with people on your third level, and then work with people on your fifth level. Because now that's showing me that you're tap rooting, you're building through the organization. And so once you understand the importance of that and building those relationships and making those connections, you'll start to develop that network, and that network will start to build and build because you're now getting people to duplicate your teachings. And so just imagine if you're focused on 1, 3, 5, and then they're focused on 1, 3, 5, and then 1, 3, 5, and then 1, 3, 5. And you'll find that those 1, 3, 5s will turn into hundreds and then build to thousands. And that's the beauty of networking.
I like that. That's really good, tap rooting. Now, you said you started with a company first and then you pivot over to being with the MAD team. What made you decide to start with health and wellness? Is it something that came to you, like someone introduced you to this, a family member that you've met, or a friend that introduced you to this industry? How did you get into this industry?
The MAD team organization, we were with another company, and that company was moving in a direction that the MAD team didn't want to move in. And so the MAD team met Mr. Kelly Olson, and we actually had an opportunity to utilize the product, understand what the product was all about. And that's when we got into health and wellness. So we got into health and wellness in 2006. And so from that, I've been able to, again, just learn, develop, dive into, get into the lab and understand more about the importance of health and wellness. Because at that time, Coach Vivian, you got to remember, I was probably 34. And so at 34, I mean, I was in shape. I mean, I felt like I could move mountains, and I didn't have no health issues. And so my focus wasn't really health and wellness. That didn't drive me, I'll say. Health and wellness didn't drive me. It was more the business side that drove me, the money side that drove me. But as I went through my course, as far as in this industry, the testimonials and the things that people were sharing with me about the product and how the product was helping them, and just hearing these personal testimonials where people are in tears because the product has changed their life. That's something that impacted me to say, hey, I need to really focus on the product side, not just the business and the money side. And so I need to really focus on the product side. And so that's when I started to really understand more about the product and how to not just use the product, but how to also educate on how to use the product and the importance of the products and what they can do for you and how you can benefit most from using the products.
Wow. So have your vision shift a little bit more, or it's just 50-50 now? Before it was the money that drove you, and now you're seeing how much the product is helping individuals. So now is it 50-50, or is it helping people more and then the product? What is it?
I'm going to probably say it's 50-50. Yeah, it's 50-50. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that because if you're a person who loves people, you're going to care enough that it is helping them. So I could have answered that for you, but I just because that's awesome. And I have to say that it's really good when you can find someone that care enough to help and care enough to offer something that's beneficial to an individual and helping them to have a better health. And like you just said, that you were so excited and joyful when you see how it's really helping people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a blessing because I myself is in the health and wellness field. So I know that's the joy of hearing the testimonies you say. It's like, Share. So, what about your experiences with the product? Do you have any testimonies for yourself about the products that you're taking?
Yeah, I do actually. I believe it or not, I used to give my product away when
Hmm.
I used to give it away to a
Okay.
family member. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. And so, but then that family member, they had, I want to say they were dealing with high blood pressure. And then they was explained to me that they no longer was on high blood pressure medication and they were on me about getting the product more. Then I found out that my family member was not only taking the product, but they were also selling the product. So the product I was giving them, they were taking to, they were taking it and then selling the rest. So when I confronted him about it, because people started to talk about it, because we're family, and he said that he started to share it with people, and they wanted to buy it from him. He didn't want to sell it, but they refused to take it for free. And so I said, it must be something with this product. And so let me start taking the product. And so I started taking the products, and I could tell you, I'm currently 54. I'm on no medications. I'm not a person that gets sick often. I don't have headaches and migraines. My energy level is through the roof. I mean, I see classmates that are walking with canes. I see classmates that are overweight. I see classmates that are on all type of medications. I follow them on social media. They are in the hospital for this surgery, for that surgery. It's just unbelievable how unhealthy people are. And these are just people that I know. Imagine the world. And to me, I owe it all to the product that I'm not in that position. I'm not in those conditions. And it's because I take the product. And I'm telling you what, my nails grow faster. They're stronger. They don't break. My hair is growing faster. I feel like I shave every other day. I just notice things about myself. I sleep through the night. There's no tossing and turning. When I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to go. There's no sluggishness and grogginess. And I notice also my mood has been just
Mm.
consistent. I don't have mood swings. I'm not mad this day, mad that day. So there are just things that I've noticed about myself that I see in other people. And I'm thinking, man, they need help and they need the product. And kind of encourages me to want to share it with them because some people don't relate to the mood part. I see so many people that's up, down, mad this day, angry this day, emotional, and I don't have those. And I believe it's all to me. I owe it all to the product that I don't have those mood swings that a lot of folks have.
Hmm. And I have to say, yeah, your demeanor have never changed since I've known you for maybe 2 years. No,
Yeah.
is it 2 years or a year? Maybe it's close to 2 years. I'm not sure how long, but you're still the same person. You're just mellow. So the product is working. So that is amazing. That is amazing. And didn't I hear you share a story before that you went to the doctor and they said that your blood was so good that it's like
Oh,
a
yes.
young, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I actually, I'll tell you two testimonials. One,
Hmm.
I actually was taking a product called Protandem.
Hmm.
Okay. I started taking Protandem in November. I go to the doctors every January. It's kind of like my health month to kind of get my year going. And so obviously they did blood work and I got the blood work back. And the tech that gave me my results and told me everything was fine, she said that my blood was just as clean as a child's blood. And
Wow.
that just blew me away. I
Hmm.
mean, 54, and for someone to say your blood is just as clean as a child's blood, I owe it all to the Protandim,
Yeah.
100%. I owe it all to the Protandim. And then with the P84, that's another product. I've been using P84 for about 2.5 years now. And P84 is the product that I was speaking of that my energy levels is through the roof. I feel like my mood is consistent. Um, I go to the bathroom on a regular basis. I learned from P84 that there are so many people that don't go to the bathroom regularly. I didn't know that. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't even think. But people are having these type of conversations
Hmm.
because the product is helping them go to the bathroom on a regular basis. I don't have aches and pains. I don't have arthritis. I don't get headaches. I mean, again, this product to me has balanced my entire core, and it's a
Hmm.
gut health product that helps the entire body. And
Hmm.
so with this product, starting from the core, which is I call it the command center, your gut microbiome, that is
Hmm.
connected to every cell, tissue, organ throughout the entire body, I see those results. And I take the product every single morning. I'm not a big breakfast guy, so I don't eat breakfast every morning. I know people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but I take my P84 for breakfast. And I
Hmm.
believe that is the most important meal of the day. It's my P84.
Amazing. Amazing. So, what about those individuals hearing what you say, especially the fact that you used to give the product away and now you start taking it? I just thank you for your transparency because that is really good to say.
I'm 34. I'm focused on the money.
Yeah.
I was not focused on the product, but that was 20 years ago. So now I'm focused on the product. I
Right,
got to keep my
right.
health
So,
in order.
thank you. Thank you. Because some people understand that, hey, his focus was this way, but now it's more 50-50 and
Yes.
it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
about helping people.
Absolutely.
So, what would you say to those people saying, did you really retire at 35 from your career just doing health and wellness products? Is it possible for me to do that too? What would you say to those individuals?
I would say absolutely it's possible. Again, it wasn't just me. There's plenty of people that have walked away from their careers because of this industry. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just applying that knowledge. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. It's going to take work. You have to do
Mm-hmm.
the work and you'll see the results. And one of the things I love about this particular industry, and especially this company, and some people do ask me, well, how were you able to do that? How were you able to triple your income in 10 months? It's because when you're working that career, you're getting paid addition. That means you're getting paid per hour, per deal, per closing, per sale, per customer. It's per. In this industry, we get paid multiplication. So when you get paid multiplication, that means that you're multiplying. Does that make sense? So when we get paid, it's 5% times this volume. It's 10% times this volume. So when you look at getting paid through multiplication versus addition, then obviously you can see how you can multiply your income. And that's how you can increase that income so much faster through this industry. And so, again, apply those principles, apply those trainings, apply those courses, and more importantly, just believe in yourself. Believe that you are the answer. No one else has to be the answer. I'm doing one of my courses that I took. Someone said something that was so profound, and I still think about it to this day. People always look to believe and look to seek someone, not realizing that they are someone. And that always stuck with me, that I am the person. I don't have to be somebody else. I just need to be
Right,
me and
exactly.
apply those teachings and those knowledge through me, not through someone else. And
Right.
so to me, that was the shift in mindset that really helped me grow.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, any final word that you have for our audience,
And
besides that little nugget you just dropped? But I know there must be something else you have besides that nugget because just sometimes people just like, it's just hard. I hear you. I heard what you're saying, but you did it in 10 months. That's just unreal. Like, what's my first step? What do I need to do to accomplish this in the time frame that you have? You told them to about self growth. You told them about applying. You told them about tap rooting. But okay,
it's a
something
team
is
sport.
missing. There's a disconnection. So what is it? Like there's something else. Is there something else? That's my question.
In this industry, it's a team sport. It's not an
Okay,
individual sport. It's a team
there you
sport. And something that my mentor, Mrs. Valencia Palmfield, told me was, she said, if you help people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
go.
And
Exactly.
so you need to surround yourself around people that also want things out of their lives. And
Mm-hmm.
your goal and your focus is to help them get those things. And when you help them get those things that they want, you'll naturally get the things that you want. But if you go
Exactly.
into it just focused on you and me and I promise you, you're going to just be you, me, and I. It's all it's going to be. You won't have a team to surround yourself. You won't have a community to build with. And so help your community get what they want, and you'll naturally be gifted what you want.
That's awesome. Now that I can end with because that is really good. I'm a strong believer of that also. So, hey, you heard it here by Mr. Brandon Missouri. Anything you want to achieve, help others to achieve their goals first. And then if you help them achieve their goals, you will get what you want. So therefore, if you're thinking about as what he just said, and I know a lot of other motivational speakers have said the same thing too, start applying that. Bring value to someone else. And in turn, you will see that it comes back to you. So thank you so much, Brenda, for joining me. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule. And I really appreciate your knowledge and your wisdom and your direction and your leading. And I am just honored to have met you and know you and call you a friend. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And thank you guys for joining us with another episode. Bye-bye.